Subscribe to the channel today.
These studies acknowledge me, honestly, put the seat back in the Odyssey, Prodigy, little mama, wanna suck in the swallow me, watch time. Welcome to the Check-In Report. I am your humble host, True and Livin, and this is the Check-In Report. Today's topic is our brother Dave Chappelle sipping the haterade. It's a real question. Is he sipping the haterade? Because, listen, Dave Chappelle, he dropped, if you don't know Dave Chappelle, one of the greatest comedians of our time, he dropped a special around the same time Katt Williams dropped that infamous Shannon Sharpe interview that, went viral. It shook up the comedy landscape. Let's just tell it how it is. It shook up the comedy landscape. And in my opinion, just my opinion, let me hit the warning button. Warning. I think that Dave Chappelle is sipping the haterade because, all of the eyes, all of the public interest, all of the, all people was talking about for that 2-3 week span was that Katt Williams interview. Nobody was talking. Nobody said nothing about that Dave Chappelle special. Nobody cared what Dave Chappelle was talking about on that special. People can't tell you one joke that was off that special. And he's calling out Katt. In virality, this comes by way of virality. This is the source. It says Dave Chappelle calls out Katt Williams for dissing other black comedians. Why are you drawing ugly pictures of us? Dave Chappelle, Katt Williams was just telling his truth. He's dealt with a lot of nonsense when it comes by way of the industry, when it comes by way of Hollywood. So he was just speaking his truth. What's the problem with that? Why can't Katt Williams speak his truth? They tried to blackball him. They tried to almost kick him out of the whole Hollywood industry. The man is self-made. The man, his ticket sales are up. I heard by 800%. Why are you engaging and going and back and forth with him? Let Katt Williams speak his truth. But the report says Dave Chappelle has shared his thoughts on Katt Williams' recent Club Shay Shay interview, in which Williams insults other black comedians. Now keep in mind, the same black comedians went on a smear campaign against Katt Williams. From Faison Love to Kevin Hart to almost everybody that he named in that interview, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, they went on smear campaigns, besmirching and slandering, if you will, the good name of Katt Williams, who has worked hard on stages around the globe to show people and let people know how talented he is and by way of comedy. You got Kevin Hart saying that, Katt Williams was on drugs, and that's the reason why nobody, the studios and the production didn't want to take a chance on him. You got Ricky Smiley lying about roles that he never had. You got Faison Love, disrespecting Katt Williams in all types of manners. I mean, in my opinion, Katt Williams was defending himself. He was defending himself from a real threat of people, slandering his name, if you will, in my opinion. The report goes on to say Chappelle spoke about Williams on stage at Monduray's at Hollywood Improv on Friday, the event hosted by comedian D. Ray Davis. Although Chappelle sets are known for their strict no phone policy segments of his set, where the comedian criticizes Williams, have circulated on social media, and that clip have surfaced where he's like, almost going in on Katt and mad at Katt. In my opinion, I don't really know why he's mad at Katt. Like I said, Katt was speaking his truth. He was speaking his real experiences in Hollywood. He was defending himself. Most of the people that Katt was naming were people that already went on that platform, talked about him, or that was on another interview somewhere on another platform talking about him. So the man was defending himself, in my opinion. The report goes on to say, what part of the game is this? He only ethered N-words. He didn't say anything about those white boys. None of these white boy functions like that. Chappelle said of Williams during his set, Katt is one of the best painters in the game. So why are you drawing ugly pictures of us? Stop. Now, let me challenge with Mr. Dave Chappelle is saying. Let me hit the warning button real quick. Warning. Dave Chappelle, Katt Williams was on that stage talking about a Gary Owens. He was on that stage talking about, certain. He talked about Gary Owens. Could he have called out more white comedians, that have that get along gang mentality, that are running the industry? He probably could have said more things about them. I agree in that aspect, but he did call out Gary Owens. He did give Gary Owens a stray. On Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, Williams made comments about Ice Cube, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Tiffany Haddish, Steve Harvey, among others. The interview went viral and was even included in a recent Saturday Night Live skit. That skit was horrible, by the way. I mean, when was the last time Saturday Night Live was funny? Let's be real. Was it? The last time Saturday Night was funny was in back in the 80s when Eddie Murphy was on it. Like, nobody's checking for Saturday Night Live. Let's be honest here. But he went on to say, hurt people. But I am a hurt person that never hurt people. And he does it all the time. F this one and F that one and F this. Chappelle said, impersonating Williams, but N-word, I didn't hear anything you did wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong. Katt didn't do nothing wrong. Katt was talking about stuff that N-words did to other N-words, but not about anything that N-words did to him. In my opinion, this is my opinion, right? I think, what is going on in the comedy sphere? What is going on? Let me hit that laugh track. Hold on. But what is going on in the comedy sphere? To me, it just seems like, comedians are just more, emotional than ever. It used to be a time where, comedians would just go on the stage and just shoot from the hip and do jokes and make you laugh. It might sometimes the jokes might have been mean spirited. Sometimes the jokes may have not been in poor taste. Sometimes the jokes may have been a little gray area. But at the end of the day, they did it for the laughs. To me, I feel like we're in a new era. And even the old comedians, the older statesmen, I feel like even they're kind of changing the guard. What's with all this emotionalism on the comedy stage? Why are your feelings hurt, Dave Chappelle? At the end of the day, Chappelle, you're a comedian. We want to laugh. We want to laugh. We don't want to deal with all this emotionalism. We don't want to deal with all this. I'm so sad with what Katt Williams said about Kevin Hart and yada yada yada. We want to laugh. We want to key. And I don't understand why you have a problem with this man speaking his truth. You went up there and you spoke your truth. You went up on those stages and you talked about Comedy Central and you talked about I remember it was one set you did, and you talked about how a comedian stole a joke from you, and he tried to he tried to punk you over the joke or whatever. You've spoken your truth on stage. You've talked about, the dealings you've had with celebrities and the issues you've had and with Comedy Central is well documented. Why can't Katt Williams, speak his truth on what he's going through? Is it just you're sipping the haterade and you're mad? Respectfully, Dave Chappelle, you're mad that, instead of people talking about your special, let's get to his special. Hold on, let's get to his special. The Closer. Oh, actually, it's not The Closer. It's the Dreamer. That's the name of Dave Chappelle's latest special. Let's get to that. His special. That, respectfully, no disrespect, because Dave Chappelle is a great comedian, but nobody was talking about that special. Nobody cared about that special. Nobody was checking for it. It kind of came and went. It came and went. The Dreamer. Let me see if I have it pulled up here. I got it queued up right here. The Dreamer. Here we go. The Dreamer. Nobody was talking about this special. Nobody was checked into this special. When the Katt Williams, because they relatively came out around the same time. This Dreamer special that he did, and Katt Williams interview, and Katt Williams interview, it just went viral. It took on a life of its own. You see Saturday Night Live parodying, doing a parody of it. You see, different places, doing parodies of it. It's went viral. People are talking about it. People are talking about the moments that come from the interview. They called it the interview of the year. We're only 20 some odd days into the year, and they've already deemed it the interview of the year. So this interview went viral. People talked about it, and Dave Chappelle's special came out around the same time. And let's just be honest, nobody was talking about Dave Chappelle's special. Nobody talked about the jokes. Nobody was talking about what he was talking about on there, his opinions, yada yada yada. Nobody was talking about those jokes that Dave Chappelle had, what he was speaking about, what was laying heavy on his heart. And I feel, this is my opinion, I think he was sipping a little bit of haterade. Because he's, he's one of the top comedians. He's probably number one, really. He maybe he felt a little jealousy because all of the public attention, all of the, the eyeballs, and all of the, all people are talking about is this interview. And Dave Chappelle, you may be feeling like, oh, I'm not number one no more. I'm not the top comedian no more, because everybody's talking about this Katt Williams interview. I mean, Katt Williams, he literally went on Club Shay Shay and he did a 2-3 hour set, and it was fire. It was flames. Everybody was engaged. You was laughing. You was wondering. It made you think. And you could say what Katt Williams did on that interview was more impactful, was more special, was more greater than what Dave Chappelle gave us. He gave us this special. I mean, he comes out with a special, every other 2 years, every year, every 2 years, something like that. This special didn't really mean anything, respectfully, And I think Dave Chappelle may be sipping a little haterade. Don't sip the haterade, Dave Chappelle. You're great. Let Katt Williams speak his truth. Katt Williams has had to deal with so much slander on his name. The man talked about how he's never taken a drug. He's talked about how on that interview, he's talked about, and there's nothing that I've seen that could substantiate him taking drugs. Kevin Hart went on The Breakfast Club and talked about how Katt Williams chose drugs over doing movies and over, stuff like that. He talked about that. And, I think Katt Williams had some valid points when he talked about, black comedians wearing dresses and stuff like that. I thought he had some valid points, things that, people need to think about, things that people, have always wondered and has always, thought about in terms, he gave us the inner workings of the industry. And a lot of people have, they have their, their conspiracies about that, about the industry, Hollywood industry, and what goes on behind the scenes and stuff like that. And he gave us, almost like a behind the scene look, if you will. So, Dave Chappelle, stop sipping the haterade, man. Let Katt Williams speak his truth. Just because, you know, a couple of your buddies caught a couple of strays, you know, let it go, man. Katt Williams is speaking his truth. Everybody that he's spoken about on that interview, everybody that he said something about on that interview, more than likely they've done something to him. You know, he wasn't just shooting from the hip and just, you know, whoever came to his mind, he was just talking crazy about them. He wasn't doing that. It was very articulate. It was very concise and to the point. And he was very direct at the messages and who he was, you know, clapping at. Because these are people that have said things about him, from Kevin Hart to Faison Love to Ricky Smiley to Cedric the Entertainer to Steve Harvey. These are some people that have done something to him in some manner, whether it be them running to an interview, whether them stealing a joke from him, or he feels like they steal a joke from him. He's speaking his truth. Stop sipping the haterade just because somebody wants to speak their truth. Because when Dave Chappelle, when you go on that stage and you talk about the Comedy Centrals, when you talk about comedians, stealing jokes from you, you know, strong arming jokes from you, when you talk about celebrities on there, you know, that's another thing. Let me bring that up real quick, because Dave Chappelle has an issue. You have an issue with Katt Williams bringing up black comedians. You have an issue with him bringing up black comedians and him, you know, almost airing out their dirty laundry or talking about them. But Dave Chappelle, you go on that stage, you clown the R. Kellys. You've done it in your past. You've clowned the R. Kellys. You've clowned the Michael Jacksons. You've clowned the rappers. You've clowned these people. These black people that are in the industry. You've clowned them. You've talked about them disparagingly in some form or fashion. Did you care about them? Did you care about airing out their dirty laundry? Did you have that same sentiment that you're speaking about black comedians? Did you have that same sentiment when it came to those black artists that you talked about, that you aired their dirty laundry? They may have been going through a hard time. They may have been dealing with a drug problem at some point. You aired out their dirty laundry. You didn't care about how they felt about those jokes that you said on stage. But you want to have all this sentiment to you know, because you friends with a couple of these comedians. That's what it really is. And you're sipping a little bit of haterade because all of the public attention went to Katt Williams. Let's just talk about it. Let's be real about it. But those are my thoughts. I just wanted to talk about this story about, you know, Dave Chappelle sipping a little bit of haterade, in my opinion, when it comes to the Katt Williams interview. You know, a lot of people, you know, that interview went viral. It was everywhere. And nobody's talking about this, you know, this Dreamer special that, you know, Dave Chappelle ultimately put out that, you know, nobody really talked about, you know. Nobody was really caring about it, you know, if you will, you know. But, you know, I just want to talk about this story. You know, let me know what you guys think about this, you know, whether you're in the rebroadcast or whether you're in the live stream. Let me know what you guys think of this story. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Check-In Report, live and direct. I will see you guys on another stream another time. We out of here, man. Toodles. These studies acknowledge me, honestly, put the seat back and I see bodies alone. Mama wanna suck and swallow me.
Welcome to the Check-In Report. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel today.